visit Fred, 1992, in Guthrie, Oklahoma. And he had just done this painting. And the little book that goes with it has to do with the painting. It's about Elmer McCurdy. Elmer McCurdy was a ne'er-do-well and thought he would rob a train. And unfortunately, he picked a mail train that didn't have any money on it. But he got a pint of whiskey and a pocket watch off of the mail guard that was on the train. And so they put out a warrant for his arrest, wanted dead or alive. This is like 1911. But this is out in Oklahoma, so this is kind of still the wilderness back there. Anyway, Fred happened to be, he had friends all over the world. And there was a guy in Los Angeles that gave him a call one day because they'd acquired this body on the set of The $1 Million Man in Hollywood, California. Well, before that body got to that point, he had been shot and killed on the spot when they found him after this train robbery. The mortician in town had mummified him practically with so much stuff that they used to embalm him with that he was petrified. And when the mortician decided he needed space for other people that come into his shop, he stood him up in a corner, put his own clothes back on him and stood him up in a corner in a back room and waited for somebody who would come and claim the body. Well, finally a couple carnival guys came along and they claimed, this is my long lost uncle, blah, blah, blah. And they were able to get him out of the mortician's office, much to his gratefulness. And then he went into the carnival route with these guys being shown as, oh, this famous bank robber and all that. Well, he changed hands a few times and ended up in the sets in Hollywood, California of The $6 Million Man. A prop grip was trying to adjust this body on the back of this set, and his arm broke off. He's like, God, this is a real bone in here, you know. So LAPD was called in, and one of Fred's friends got wind of it, and here we go. Fred and his buddies went out, brought him back from California, and they were going to bury him in a 1911 style funeral. Horse-drawn carriage, the whole 9 yards. He's in the pictures in the book of the posse that took Elmer to his last grave, and they put concrete over him because there was a lot of people who didn't like this bank robber in their fancy cemetery, and the hill was just up the way a little bit, and they didn't want to put him there, so they made sure nobody could dig him up and move him to some other place. But it's a fascinating story. The book is a really great read. You can get copies of it. It's still on the internet. And I think inside the book I've got a piece of information in there to tell you how you can get a copy of the book. But Fred had given me a choice of 2 paintings when I went to visit him, and I totally didn't expect this, but I guess he gave lots of people his paintings. There are several people in Warsaw that have a painting that he has done. And his wife's still living. She's selling some of his paintings now on online auctions. And they are valued anywhere from $400 to $600 at this size and up for the bigger ones. He was a wonderful person, a great artist. There's also a book that was a biographical book done on his life. And I have a copy of that, and it's a fascinating read too. And if you could ever get a hold of some book written about Fred Olds, you need to get it. He was a fascinating person. He was like the Pied Piper. All the kids loved to hang around him. Yeah, did that too. So anyway, I want you to know how that came about.